Her name was Hurricane Helene, a storm like no other. My city was impacted heavily by Helene. We've had plenty of storms before, but none like Helene. Helene came, she saw, and she conquered. On September 27, 2024, Helene brought damaging winds and rain. It was like never before. I can remember being a child. My grandma was around and a storm had came. She'd say, "Sit down, be quiet, turn off all the electricity, turn off everything. The devil beating his wife." I was like, huh? She said, "Shh, be quiet till the storm passes." So, me and my brothers and cousins sat there. I don't know why she said that. Who knows? But my grandmother was not around for Helene. But I can hear her voice say, "Ooh, hell have no fury with Helene." Helene came to our town with a vengeance. Trees down, uprooted, laying on the ground, across the street, pole lines down. So many houses had trees on them. You would have thought it was a decoration. We had never experienced anything like this before. So when the news said to take heed, some folks listen, but some folks like, they don't know what they talking about. Or we've weathered the storm before, we got this. Helene showed us different. My kids were so scared. My daughter sitting in the back seat. "Oh, Mama, look at that tree on top of that house. Mama, look. Mama." So I see, baby, I see. "Mama, I'm glad the tree didn't fall on our house." I said, "Me too." Some people got lucky. Some people didn't. When we finally got out the end of our street, because that was blocked, we rode around town, well, the places that we could go. We saw so many businesses closed and people trying to get gas and food. Some of the grocery stores were closed, no power. It was like the apocalypse. I seen so many people arguing and fighting. Like, what is going on? It was a world I did not know. It was a city I did not know. Being that I had my children and I had to keep them calm, I kept myself calm. But a storm brewed in me a storm raveled in my soul. I wasn't rich, but we had to eat. We grilled out on the front porch, sometimes late at night with a flashlight. My neighbor came over. Please, will you help me? I'm hungry and I see you got a grill. She said, can you please cook this chicken for me? I would greatly appreciate it. So we did. We cooked the chicken for her. We brought it back over to her house. She said, thank you. And that made me feel good. I kick myself sometimes because I felt bad for not preparing. I didn't get a generator. I didn't get a lot of flashlights and food to prepare. But we made it. We made a way. Trees fell for 3 days. 3 days after the storm. Trees were still falling on people's homes and cars. A storm like no other, that's for sure. We had not experienced this before. So sometimes we panicked. We panicked because we didn't know what was going to happen next. Most of us couldn't work, some could. But nothing was back to normal. My children were still out of school. My mom was there with them. I still had to work. I had to work knowing my children were in the dark. I could not do anything. Mommy, when you coming home? I'm scared. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Mommy, Grandma said the lights gonna be back on tomorrow. Said, yes, I heard. But Mommy, they said that the other days, but it still didn't come back on. I said, yes, baby, I know. But hopefully they'll come back on soon. With anger in my soul, I wanted to cry. My company had lights and power, but my babies didn't while I was at work. Had to get to work, right? Fighting for gas. The line for gas was long and terrible. My son in the background, in this back seat. Mama, my legs hurt. How long we gonna be here? Like, Mama, come on. Do we have to have gas? I said, yes, we have to have gas. A lot of places did not have gas. So the places that did, we would send texts to our family and friends and say, this gas station has gas. Come get some now. The line is long, but come get some gas. Because that was hard to come by. We had to band together as a community, as a family. Everything was okay. But deep down in my soul, I had a storm brewing inside. My kids had nightmares of a storm at night. Every sound, every noise. Oh, Mama, is that a storm again? I said, no, baby. The candles got lower. The text message from the power company were daily. It became very, very uncomfortable. Being without power for 9 whole days. I know people who were without power for longer. I got angry. My kids were hot, sweaty, crying. I fanned them with a plastic plate. Hot myself. I know I had to keep them cool. Here come another text message. We'll have the power on so and so and so. I got so angry at them. I got so mad. I saw on social media that some areas had power. And those were the areas where, the wealthy lived. I got angry. Said, what are they doing? Are they picking them over us poor people? Are they putting their power on first? All things went through my mind. I was tired of the text messages. We'll restore your power. We know this. We know that. Just your power is restored, but it never was. I refrained from telling my kids that I got the text message because I didn't want them to get their hopes up high like they did before. I thought you said the power was going to be back on this day. I got real frustrated. I sent them a text. They had shelters and places like that, but my mother was disabled and she could not travel. So she was there at the home and I could not leave her. Then I realized that they were working very hard to get our power back on. People from out of state came to help. 249 fatalities. That's a lot of people. I wasn't one of them. My kids wasn't one of them. My mother wasn't one of them. We survived Hurricane Helene. But some people didn't. The storm that brewed in my soul went away as I realized the bigger picture. And that was, I have my life to prepare for another storm. I know now. Rest in peace to the ones who lost their lives.